Hi, everyone. Happy holidays. I've picked a book to review which I feel was the best way possible to end 2013. And it's one that's great to start off the new year. It's The Age of Context by Robert Scoble and Shel Israel. And this is an incredible book because it was very different than several of the books that I've been reading in 2013. So if you take a look, here's The Age of Context. You can see that I started to do my color coding system, which is based on, I use different colors to kind of pinpoint what I didn't know about that I need to research, what I want to share with my friends. I have another color for what I want to share with my colleagues. And when I started to color code, what I noticed was that almost on every page, I had all the colors. And it became such an intense effort. So I scrapped my color coding system. I zipped through this book, but as I did it, I opened up my Evernote and I was constantly putting in new technology and interesting information that I'm going to go back and research or then go ahead and share. So the authors did a terrific job in the realm of the possibilities. That's probably what amazes me so much about this book. I looked at the picture on the cover. Clearly, it shows an image wearing Google Glass. So in my mind, I thought, okay, so this is a book that's going to talk to me about mobile, social. It'll talk about Google Glass. And it did. It did all of those things. But it took it to such a new level for me. Before I get into some of the really cool things in this book, I do want to mention that the authors broke it into five driving forces. So if you think you're just getting a book on social media or wearable technology, you're not. The five forces are mobile, social media, data, sensors, and location. And as much as I thought that I knew in these areas, I'm actually happy to say that I learned a heck of a lot from this book. Let me just give you an example. So it wasn't just about Google Glass. When it comes to wearable technology, I was amazed to find out that there's cancer detecting undergarments. There's also undergarments that could quite possibly stop sexual assault, things that I never thought were possible. When it got into sensors, it talked about toothbrushes, and I think the authors even mentioned that Philips is developing a toothbrush that can sense tooth decay. It also discussed sensors being implanted in the body. Um, ones that after surgery could quite possibly detect your vital signs and be able to transfer information. There was one sensor as a tiny implant that monitored your blood chemistry and could literally let you know if a heart attack was going to occur. This is amazing technology. Other technologies in the book really, the information that is targeted at a person, whether it was through a personal contextual assistant, your PCA, or the way that location based technology can work, some really big changes on the horizon. The authors are very pro driving forces in the sense that they bring to the table, it's hard hitting. There's no fluff in this book. It gets right to the point, and it also shows great examples. And it shows you a lot of the benefits of the technology. Now, what I also liked is as many benefits as there are, there's issues about how much do you share and how much of what you share is shared with other people. Privacy is a big issue. And the authors balance that out very nicely by bringing to the table a chapter, a section that really deals with privacy and what you need to think about. And this is going to continue to evolve. This book touched me on two different levels, personally and professionally. Personally, I love technology, and I could picture myself someday wearing Google Glass. I could also see myself being in this home of the future where I'm in the kitchen and there's a glass countertop and I've got my digital recipes going and I can move it to another surface and more information is popping up. Some really, really cool things. But at the same time, I also think about with all of this information, and if I'm wearing a Google Glass, and the way that technology can be distracting, or at least distract my attention away from human beings and interaction and possibly family. Is this good? Is this not good? How will this affect personal relationships? And of course, privacy. I do worry about the teens in my life, our kids, and they're not even teens anymore. We have one who is going to be 22. So, how will this affect them? And, you have to balance it out. Everybody is different. But I bet the way that I feel now, and based on the rapid change in technology and what's on the horizon, my views will morph and grow and change as well. Professionally, wow, look out. If you thought social media was the game changer, you're in for an eye opening experience. As a public relations and marketing professional, this book is a must read because the intelligence, the targeting of information, being able to be in an age of context. How do we get noticed? How do we still have impact? How do we break through the noise with all of this targeted technology and people being able to get exactly what they need when they need it? Where do our companies and our brands fit in? And how, as a communications professional, are we going to bring communication that is contextual and has more impact? And as a marketer, the authors discussed advertising. And what will advertising look like? If you think it's going to look the way that it is now, you might have, something being whispered in your ear when you're at the mall of what you need or what's missing in your refrigerator. And if you walk into a certain store, um, actually, that is a form of advertising where the company pays for an ad, but when you walk into their store and you buy something, they get the sale. So there's a lot of change that we have to look forward to, that we have to prepare for. Reading this book is definitely the first step. I do think that 2014 is an age of context. So I really want to thank the authors for an eye opening read. I recommend it to my marketing and PR professionals, as well as to my friends who are really into technology and who want to broaden their horizons of what is out there. I bet that as quickly as you read this book, and to the authors themselves, they're probably working on book number two, because in an age of context that is changing so rapidly, I could see either a revised version or Age of Context 2 coming out pretty quickly. So I thank you, Robert. I thank you, Shell. I learned a tremendous amount from this book. I still have a lot of homework to do, and I hope my friends will pick it up and read it as well. Happy holidays and happy new year. May 2014 be an age of impact with communication that is relevant and contextual. And I hope it's a great year for everyone. Thank you.